Lamowitz from Texas. I went back, when I come home from service, I worked for Harmon Chevrolet as a mechanic. And I got a vacation, we went to Texas, and I looked him up. He was a mechanic too. But things he's done. Anyhow, going back to after the invasion of France, we went up through the Argonne Forest, Battle of the Bulge. We got trapped. We got they made a big line around like this that circled in. And we was down to Spa, Belgium. And we got our headquarters got the word, get the H out of there. So we got out before they closed the trap in. And then Americans pushed in and bombed them and got them all back out and then went on. But we went up through the Argonne Forest, and then when we went across the Rhine River is about like the Maumee River, maybe a lot deeper, but because they run ships up and down there. We had to go across there. We had no bridge, and they had a bridge made of big rubber tubes. Like you could have went and taken a big half track across there or a truck, go bounce across like this, across here. You didn't know if you could get down across there or not. But went across there, yeah. Different when I rode down that. We rode down that many years later down on a ship. And I thought, how funny that was to go across on that tube. So like a rubber tube, that's what it was. Okay, come on, bring me up again.
Okay, do you think that this turning point was...
Did what?
Louder, honey.
Do you think that
this invasion was a big turning point in World War II?
Oh, sure, it had to.
Yeah.
You see, if we hadn't invaded France, that's where there was a France in there. If we hadn't invaded that, Hitler would have kept going. He'd have took over England. He'd have took England, and after he got to England, where would he come? The United States, and we sure didn't want him here. Yeah. I had a lot of my other buddies went the other way, went to down the islands, the Hawaiian Islands, down that way. Now that was all a different war, and I don't know much about that, but I know a lot about the other one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was a turning point. It really was, yeah.
Because didn't the Russians need that invasion to happen? Because wasn't...
They come from the other way.
Yeah,
Russians.
they came from the east.
But didn't the Russians need that because the Germans were pushing into Russia?
Sure. Germany was going always. They just everywhere. They'd taken over Poland and all these other countries. And they was going to take they did it gradually. Got Russia. Well, we got into Russia too. After the war, I had this farm. We took a farm trip over there. Went up to Hitler's hideout, which is up in Austria.
Yeah.
And I got a book on that, and I should have dug it out and showed it to you. But it did quite a place up in the Austria mountains. You know. No, the Battle of Bulge was a turning point too. It was. If you study about it, you'll find out about that.
Yeah,
there's another student.
There's another student in our class that's doing. There's another student in our class that's doing the Battle of the Bulge. So.
Is there?
Yeah.
Battle of Bulge was in there, and it was cold up in the Argonne Forest. It was 10, 12, 15 below zero, a lot of snow, and try to keep the trucks
are frozen and all that. And ridiculous. The trucks are frozen and everything. Ridiculous.
No, our trucks didn't freeze. We had them. Ours didn't freeze up. We had
the
only one we had froze up. One of the wheels wouldn't turn.
Yeah.
See, we had antifreeze and everything, but we had no heaters in the trucks. They was cold. Canvas tops.
That's really all the questions that we have.
What?
That's all the questions that we have for you right now.
You sure you don't have any more?
Mm-hmm. Do you have any more?
Do you want to know anything?
No, and we was up way up beyond Berlin when the war ended, and our 433rd Signal Corps was a good communication outfit. And we were scheduled to go to China. And that had been a long trip. We went from up in Germany down in southern France. We was getting all our equipment waterproofed so we could, with gasoline, so we could go to China. We'd get our trucks, gasoline, our rifles and everything, all fixed up to go to China. We've been gone for 3 years, so what makes another year? We might as well go another year, what makes a difference? You've been gone a long time, you kinda forgot about home. You didn't forget about it, but that was your way of life. And your buddy was your best friend. You depended on each other. And we was getting everything waterproofed, ready to go to China, and the Japanese war ended. We don't have to go to China. And then we was down in southern France for about a week before we got to come back to the United States. When we come back to the United States, I know when we went over the North Atlantic, most of the guys I'd say 90% of the guys was terribly sick. Yeah, it was rougher than just lay out, throw up on one stool and poop in the other one. Just so sick that we'll never go back. We'll never go back. I'll die over here before I take another boat back. They was on the boat when we got back to go. They was all ready to go.
After the war, did you take any vacations?
Huh?
After the war, did you take any vacations like with your buddies or anything?
No, I never found. Well, I'll get back to it. I'll get back to it when I get back in the United States. When we left southern France, down in Mercedes, France, we was down on the beach down there. We spent about a week down there. That was great. Nobody shooting at you, and it was really great. And we got on a ship there, and we drove directly across to Boston. It took us about a week to come back. And it was just as flat as this table all the way back. And when we went over, we had 6, 8, 10, 12, 14-foot waves all the way across the North Atlantic. And when we got back into Boston Harbor, what really got most of the guys, of all the time we had about 600 or 700 in our battalion when we went over, and all of them come back except 3. We lost 3 guys. And what happened, they would have one of these line trucks to go dig a hole, or they come up like Edison, come punch a hole, and backed off the road and backed over a mine. Killed the spotter and the driver and the operator. Killed them 3. That's one we lost. 3 buddies, yeah. When we come back into Boston, we come in on this troop ship, and they had a welcome ship to come out and meet us out in the harbor. And some of your toughest guys in your outfit you thought was really tough, they had tears coming down their eyes. A lot of guys condemn the United States now, but once you're gone, once you get back, you'll appreciate it. Excuse me, can't help it. When I hear somebody want to tear up a flag or something, they know what they're doing. Good country. Now, you asked me about going someplace, somebody.
When you got back to the United States, like you said that you never saw any of your buddies again except for the one in Texas.
I seen one in Texas and I looked one up in California. I got a daughter, my oldest daughter lives in California, and another couple went with us. We went to California, we visited my daughter, and we toured the West Coast. And I had some buddies up in Okinawa, Washington. We went up that town, and I thought, we sat and eat in a restaurant, and I said, God, I know that's Guy D. Hubbard over there. it's gotta be Guy D. Hubbard. And I had nerve enough, I finally went over and asked him, no, I'm not. But, when we, in this town, I had one truck driver by the name of Newton Weiser. And, he lived in Dinky Creek, California. What a town. And we was up, not too far from there, went up to California to Oregon, back down, and we come back down into Washington, or back down to Southern California and down in there. And when we come down to Dinky Creek, we stayed in this town one night, and I told my wife, I says, you know, what if I can find this Dinky Creek? We looked on the map, and we finally found Dinky. We wasn't too far from it. I wonder if I can find out where Newton Weiser was. So the post office will not tell you anybody. So in the daytime, I called the post office and asked them if I said, I know you can't give me information, but I'm a veteran and I'm looking for a guy, and I know you can cheat a little bit if you try. I'm looking for a guy by the name of Newton D. Weiser. He was one of my truck drivers. Yeah, he works for the school. Yeah. He said, would you give me his address? Yeah. She gave me the address, and the next day, we called him that night, called him, and they told him, he says, where the hell are you at? Well, I don't know, we're not in Dinky Creek. Excuse my language, but that's just the way it was. He told me how to get to this place, and we went there, and it was great to see him, but this was 30 years ago, 30 or 35 years later. You don't have anything in common anymore after being that way, but it was great to see him, really. But I couldn't get over the post office, how congenial they was, because they're not supposed to give anything new out. And they did, they said, well, yeah, we know Newton D. Weiser, he works for the school, he's the janitor. God, how lucky could we be? But no, when I got discharged in October of 1945, been over there, I've been gone 3 years. I hadn't seen my wife for 2.5 years. For 3 years I hadn't seen her. And she met me in Toledo bus station. And I come home, and I was home about 2-3 days, and I told my wife, I said, I gotta find something to do. I'm either going back to the Army or I'm gonna get me a job. She said, you're not going back to the Army. I liked it. I enjoyed the fellowship we had with each other. And she said, you're not going back to the Army. I said, well, I'm gonna do something. So I had a 1936 Chevrolet. She drove it she drove back and forth to work while I was in service. I'd rebuilt that later on, but I'm going uptown and see if I can find a job. And you don't remember Harmon Chevrolet? You do? You know where the Nationwide Insurance is in downtown?
Mm-hmm.
You know where the Firehouse Pizza is?
Uh-huh.
And then just west of there, right in the alley, for the alley,
Yes.
that used to be Harmon Chevrolet there.
Oh.
Okay, Harmon Chevrolet had bought Walker Chevrolet out. And there he had one mechanic, Jim Barron, which was fire chief. I said, went in and I said, I'm looking for a job. Jim said, I don't want to go up and see Bert. I didn't know Bert from these boys. And Bert said, yeah, I need a mechanic. I said, I want to go to work. I said, they asked him what he's going to pay me in. I said, I want to go to work. He said, I need a mechanic. And he said, I need a truck mechanic. I said, I ain't going to do tools. He said, I'll get you some tools. So I went, next week I went to work. I worked there for 5 years. And then I went in the salvage business. I did Del Auto wrecking. If you come east of town where the buildings is torn down on the curve, that's where I was there for about 25, 30 years. That was the auto salvage business. I built a mobile home park down here, and Vince has been doing jack of all trades, but, I never sorry I went to service, so. I got a letter from my dad once, dad had 6 boys, and 2 of us went to service, 3 of us went to service. He said, you know, if I was a young man, I'd go to service too. But here's my brothers here. Yeah, my niece, she won this year, and there's the 6 brothers right there. That was Ben. And now I have no brothers. They're all gone. They're all gone. I was the middle one. And they're all gone. How old do you think I am?
85.
How old do you think?
83.
Huh?
83.
How old Mom think?
Let me think here.
Do some figuring.
I'm figuring. That's what I'm doing. I'm figuring here. I'm not just guessing. I'm figuring.
Okay,
Let's see here. 96.
Huh?
96.
93.
93.
93.
That's 3 years off.
You
I was
done
trying to
close,
figure it fast.
No, not 96, 93.
93.
And not many of us old World War II guys left anymore. No. Yeah. I like to share this with you because a lot of people don't understand this here. It's just a football game, really. You push your enemy back and you go up. So therefore, you got to move your air base up. You got to move everything up. So when you move it up, you put more of this stuff down. We have miles and miles and miles of that stuff.
Here, I'm going to hold this up so they can tape this. Okay, tape that so then you know. Got it?
Gotta flip it over.
Flip it over.
You gonna make a tape of this?
Mm-hmm.
Good. You gonna get me one?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good. I'll take it up to my daughter and let her play it. Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else you boys want to ask him?
No, this
Not necessary.
this to me is, you know, when you go in service. I was a young guy, 22 years old. I thought I knew the world, knew everything. I didn't know nothing. Know nothing. When you come in, you go there, and it's just like this war. It's just like a football game, really. Adolf Hitler wanted to come this way, and we didn't want him going, so they keep pushing him back. When they push him back, we'd move ahead about every 4 or 5 days. We'd move another 40, 50 miles, according how much ground they gained there, because they'd have to get communication back from the infantry back to the air base, so the fighter planes could take off.
Did any of your kids go into the
What's
air?
that?
Did any of your kids go into the military?
No,
No.
I got 2 girls.
Oh, okay.
I got 2 daughters. One's a nurse, and the other one lives in California. The nurse is her husband. My son-in-law is a farmer, big farmer, and the one in California is in real estate. They sell. They got. In fact, they own property in Toledo. I used to fly out to California a couple times a year. You know, I got claustrophobia and I can't fly. They shut me. You ever get claustrophobia and get shut in a closet someplace? Try it sometime. I get in a small room and I gotta get out of there. And I think that all comes from things that pass. I don't know. Any more questions, fellas?
I think we're good.
Yeah, you got something.
No,
No?
no. I don't think I got anything else.
Huh?
I don't think I got anything else.
No, you guys got a lot of information.
Yeah.
I don't wanna.
Did you get his full name and his rank and stuff?
Yeah, we got
Did you
that.
get that?
I don't wanna cheat you.
Okay.
Don't cost you anything, so you might as well get all you can get.
We're fine. I think we're good.
No, when I say about I was dumb or wasn't in service, I think everybody was the same way. We had a job to do, and we was gonna do it. we went and done it and got, we didn't wanna leave home. Nobody wanted to leave home, go away, we was gone. But after we was gone for a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, we was gone 3 years, this is where your life, that's your life.
Yeah, both of my
What's that?
both of my grandfathers were in World War II.
Who was your grandfather?
Willard Raker.
Billy Greg, yeah,
and
sure.
Donald Bauman were both.
Don Ballman.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
They were both.
Don Bowman, Jeannie Bowman, yeah, sure. Jeannie, I used to be director of the People Savings Bank. Jeannie used to work for us.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I remember down here real well. And Willard and I graduated from school same year. He graduated from Delta and I graduated from Chesterfield.
Mhm.
And then Willard and I played baseball against each other,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
When I know the people now around town, I just, you know, I go out and, I like to mow yard. And I go over to the Legion, I mow out, and I got my tractor on it, I just go out and sit on it. Just, when can I get going? I got my neck broke, 12 years ago in an automobile accident. I can't pick my arms up on it so far, and there's little things I can't do, and makes me so disgusted that, why do I have to be that way? But how fortunate I am. I went through a lot of it. You guys ought to go up on a landing craft like I did there and see all that water out there. You never see such a big ball of water. We used to get bombed a lot